we go. Hello and happy Friday for those who are watching on the replay. Hello, hello, happy Friday. Welcome. Just getting the space started. Come on. There we go. Getting this space started with a little bit of Palo Santo. Wait, what's going on there? Okay, cool. All right. Let's put that over there. All right. I think these can go over here. All right. Hello, hello, hello. I'm like, wait, what do I say? Happy Friday. Palo Santo for me, it depends on what your intentions are. But for me, it's just something that helps to bless the space, and sending it into the space helps me to just kind of connect and can help others. So, hello. I am a little bit later than usual. My name is Angelica from Infinite Love Healing. Happy Friday. Thank y'all for joining me. I'm going to be offering free and paid readings today. So we'll be offering both. And really how it works is I do free readings until, there's someone that maybe pays for a reading. Otherwise, I just do free readings. Happy Friday. You're welcome. You're welcome for the explanation. So free readings work as follows. I'm going to get right into it. Free readings work as follows. You leave a comment with your name and a question. The more specific that you can be, the more specific the information that comes through, right? Because we are in a live, I tend to do do shorter readings. If you are looking for a more in-depth reading, then I would invite you to, book with me for an in-depth, right? So we can bring all of the layers of the different information. And then it can also be general, love, health, career, etc. However, I do not do pregnancy or fertility readings, or it can be a one-card pool. And those are the free readings, right? And if you want to pay or donate for a reading, I do all of my my paid readings first. They all take precedence, so as to honor that exchange. And the paid readings are as follows. So donations of $20 minimum. You can donate more if you feel, guided to. All the links to donate are in my profile. So you go to my profile, click on the link, and then you scroll all the way down. And then you got to let me know in the comments that you've donated, because it doesn't always pop up on my screen right away. Okay. And then the donation exchange for readings is $20 minimum, and then $33 for energy work and mediumship. And if you have questions about anything, let me know. Let your girl know. Holla at your girl. And so the free readings work like I just allow my intuition, or I allow spirit to just kind of guide me to who needs to be read, right? Because when we're in a group like this, someone might be being read. It might not be you. But you might resonate with the information. So take what resonates, apply it to your life, and leave the rest. Okay. And so I'm going to start scanning the comments. And if I don't get to you, or if I don't feel like guided to you, don't take it personally. It's not personal. It's just energy. Happy Friday, y'all. How are you? How are you guys? I'm still scanning the comments. And if you feel guided to or inspired to, please share out the live. That allows me to kind of get into the algorithm and pop up on other people's FYP and stuff. Thank you, Teresa. I appreciate it. I'm doing good. I'm feeling good. I took some time. I woke up later, and so I was like, I'm just gonna take some time. And if I go live, I go live. If not, not. Then so I'm later than usual, but I'm here and I'm loving it. Elizabeth, that kind of sounds like to me mediumship, and I actually charge for mediumship. And a mediumship is $33 because it takes a lot of energy to connect in that way. Yeah, there's a lot of interesting. Okay, so let me. Erica, you're asking if you should move forward with the podcast. I get a yes. Because in that, moving forward, it may work out, it may not. However, in moving forward, there's some things that are happening. It's like you're showing yourself that, like, just do it. There's no such thing as failure. If that's what you're worried about, there's really no such thing as failure. And if you are someone who still identifies with failure, or uses failure in their paradigm, it's a part of the process. It's all part of the process. I don't personally believe in failure, although I do also sometimes feel like that sometimes. But like I do get like an overwhelming yes, a very, very strong yes, because in that you're moving forward. And that's going to show you whether it works out or not. It's going to show you how to adjust, what needs to be. It's going to teach you some things. Okay, that's what I feel for you. All right, Tyshawn, you're asking for one card. So I'm going to tune into your energy and ask for the highest, most benevolent message that wants to come in for you. Oh, there it is. You got the Strength card. Strength, invisible force, gentle persuasion, compassion, confidence, self-belief, influence, and courage. You got the Leo card. Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting. I didn't see this other card that got turned over. The other card was the Queen of Cups in reverse. So there's that. There's drained or flooded. So there might be a little bit of both. Maybe leaning into your strength, into that compassion, in order to transmute and alchemize the emotional aspects that are coming in. right. So if you would like a free reading, leave a comment with your name and a question. General, love, health, career. It can also be a one-card pool there at the bottom. You're welcome, Tyshawn. The only thing I don't do is pregnancy readings. And then share out the live if you feel inspired to, because that helps me to reach more people. Oh, Erica said that's amazing. Amazing. Thank you so much. You're welcome, Erica. If you're even still here. It feels like it's going to be a short one today. Thank you for sharing out the live. I really do appreciate that. Okay, I do feel called to Okay, I gotta concentrate because okay. Ashley, you're asking, will I find my soulmate soon? Let me know that you're here, Ashley. So, okay, thank you for that. So I'm typically guided to say certain things when people use this type of language. Ooh, excuse me. Okay, we're getting into it. We're gonna get into it, okay? And just know that there's no judgment. I'm gonna say this as delicately as possible. Also know that I'm pretty straightforward, so I don't really know how to beat around the bush. But just know that I say this with as much love as possible. A lot of times with things like labels like soulmates, twin flames, etc. One thing that I've tuned into is that when these types of terms permeate the collective consciousness and perhaps they become more of a fad, perhaps they become more prominent within the collective consciousness, there tends to be a lot of projections of people's wounds, emotional baggage, their shame, their loneliness, their things, their shadow that they don't want to face. Okay, so I'm just feeling called to preface it with that. I'm not saying that you are or that you do, but typically when people use this language, there might be some things around that, and there might not. Okay, so I'm not saying one way or the other. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. So take that or leave that, okay? You said, will you find your soulmate soon? Okay, you might not like what I have to say. However, also remember that readings aren't concrete, and sometimes when we receive readings, the energy can shift right away and can catalyze a lot of different things. Okay, so I just want to preface it with that as well, that you might not like what I have to say. However, just remember that all readings aren't always concrete. Okay, I still feel that you're about 2 years out. Reason for this, or maybe one of the reasons for this being, is that there's a lot of self-love that needs to be embodied by you before you're actually the vibrational resonance or the frequency in which will attract the person that you're actually wanting to consciously attract. It feels like there's still some inner work, shadow work, alignment, and self-love to be there. Okay. And again, I will say that this is not necessarily concrete. This is just the energy, how I'm reading it in this moment. So tomorrow, everything could have fucking shifted, and you could have met that person. But this is how I'm reading it at this time. I still feel it's like See, it's already shifting. I'm feeling 1 to 2, but before I was feeling 2. We're also in the solstice portal. We're in the Schumann resonance is going off the charts. So there's a lot of up and down, back and forth, forward, back, etc. So it feels like I would invite you to find the foundation and build the foundation within yourself first so that you're stable here. So that when you do find people or you do find interest in someone, there is, if it doesn't work out or if whatever happens, your emotions aren't running the show or controlling you. Okay. That's the other piece of information that's coming through with this. Feels like build that foundation within first, because it still feels like you're a little bit off, and I don't mean off in any kind of which way. It just means like there's still some time to go before that feels like it comes in. But when it comes in, it feels like it comes in pretty hard, pretty strong. And I don't mean that to sound naughty in any which way. But it does feel like it comes in pretty quickly when you found that alignment. Okay. That's what I feel like. That's what I feel for you. Oh, I've been single for 10 years and it's been filled with lots of dating trauma. Yeah. Working on me still. Yeah. And so there might be, that might, maybe take that time to, maybe take this time to release all that dating trauma, because I get how that, those experiences could add up and start creating new beliefs about, how dating is hard, or, all the good men are taken, or all the good people are taken, or whatever. So, yeah. So I hope that helps. But again, all that can shift real quickly. So keep on going. Keep on going. You got this. All right. So um okay. Yeah, energy is like back and forth today. Okay, Lynn, are you still here, my dear? Lynn asks, is Kay my person? Let me know that you're still here. If not, then I will move to someone else. You are. Okay, so Lynn, thank you for that. And so I'm going to connect to your energy and feel into the connection. Okay, from what I'm kind of feeling in, for this, again, you get to, like, above all else, remember that you are the ultimate authority over your life. But I am here, and I will relay what comes through as it comes through to me. Okay. But remember that I'm not here to take your power away. I don't want your power. So if you feel like this is your person, is your person. However, when I tap into this connection, it feels, I don't know that this is your person, other than what they feel like is a big mirror, a big reflection to me, in order to further catalyze you to get on your path. And here's the thing. I don't personally believe we can ever be off our path, because I feel like wherever we go, it's a part of our journey. So I don't ever feel like we're out of, our off our path. Sometimes we wander off our path so we can like fucking find our way back on into like that true alignment, but it's still, I still wouldn't put it as being off our path, just part of our journey that we learned, or that we experienced in order to like get us on our shit. So this person feels like that to you, or this person feels like that to me. um, that's not to say there's not love there. That's not to say that there's not a connection there. This doesn't feel like the person that's going to be there for like a long, maybe what you're looking for is like what most people might want is like that person, that stability to stay in their life forever. But it doesn't feel like it's that person. I could say a lot more about, just all of that, but I would say short answer, no. You probably don't like that. But that's not to say that there's not love there and that there's not a connection there and then there's not still experiences to be had, and that this person is gonna just like immediately drop out of your life after this. I just don't personally in this moment feel that this is the person, to use your words. So yeah, that's what I feel for you, my dear. Yeah. So, is there any others that want a free reading? If you would like a free reading, let me know. And if not, I'm gonna hop up out this bitch. Leave a comment with your name and a question, or you're welcome, Lynn. I hope that helps ya. Okay, so I have Elizabeth, I have Rachel. Elizabeth, let me know that you're here, my dear. You're asking, what does spirit need you to hear? My eyebrows are going off over here. I like this filter though. It's cool. No worries, Rachel. Sometimes that's how we do, right? Let's see. Elizabeth. Okay, so let me find you first. All right, there you are. So let me tap into and connect to your highest self, your guides. And listen for a bit. What is this word? I feel like they're trying to relay a word to me and I can't quite place it. Okay. Oh, is that to say, okay. All right. So I'm just going to start speaking and we're going to see what comes out. I'm feeling the way it comes across. I was like, wait, what? However, the more I kind of listen, the more I'm drawn to my heart. And I feel, okay, all right. You don't have to go so fast. So, where do I start? It's more about, it feels like it's time it's time, or there's the invitation to drop into your heart more. Therefore embodying a greater depth of love and being in your heart space more, to a greater degree than you already are. Okay. Or maybe even feel that's possible for you. It's like heart, 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 because the other part of this that kind of gives me like there's some subtleties, some nuances there, is I'm also tapping into or feeling into some is blocks around the heart, or like walls around the heart, that need to be dissolved, and yet at the same time are dissolving kind of naturally. So I would say lean into your heart more. And there seems to be some kind of challenge with loving the quote unquote unlovable. Okay. So there's so many different layers. It's almost like I feel like there's it feels like you're holding a lot around your heart, to be honest. No, the more that I become oriented, it feels like you're holding a lot around your heart. And so you're being called and guided and invited, because it gets to be your choice, right? Ultimately, you have free will and it gets to be your choice, but you're being invited to drop the walls around the heart and be able to love the unlovable. So we could say things like murderers, rapists, thieves, whatever. You know what I mean? Because these exterior reflections are just reflections of aspects of you that you do not find lovable, that you were told were unlovable or unlikable, or that you created some kind of belief around, or there was some kind of trauma, or emotional wounding that happened, that it's calling you and inviting you to release around that. So that's just an example, but that's kind of, there's some heart stuff there, because your heart needs to be paired with your brain. And the word that I was hearing initially was pear. And I was thinking P-E-A-R, as in the fruit. And I was like, what? I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Pear. But they were saying it's kind of, basically they want, your guides are kind of referring to your heart and your brain working in tandem as a pair. Your heart gets to lead the way. Your brain, understanding that your brain it's only designed to do certain things. It's not designed to think about all of the things, and because it gets into analyzing mode, and it gets into trying to process all of the things, but the brain can't process in the way that the heart can. The heart processes and knows quantumly. The mind knows linearly. It can process linearly. So if you're trying to jump ahead or fill into certain things, that actually might require a multidimensional perspective that works non-linearly, whereas you keep trying to think with your head, and that's not going to work. It's not going to work. It's going to tie you up in knots, because the brain just doesn't process in that way. It's not meant to be used in that way. However, we've been programmed and conditioned over millennia to fucking process through the brain and leave the heart out of the equation. And it's important to lead with the heart rather than to try to lead with the mind. So when we begin to access the heart and process through the heart, allow the heart to lead, there might be a curve, a learning curve. That's what I was trying to say. There might be a learning curve in this because of the conditioning and the programming that has been ingrained within our DNA. So there's that. It's more, it's release, it's about releasing the stuff around the heart. So whatever heartbreak or heartache or unlovable parts, that are gonna help to break down those walls, those heart walls. That's what you're being guided into. And the other part of that is to create coherence with the brain and the heart. Allowing the heart to lead instead of the mind, because the mind does not know the way. It thinks it knows the way, but then when we get into the mind, what I'm hearing is that when we get into the mind, the ego starts to try to take control of the ship. Okay. And it's one way to do things. It's just not the most efficient, and it's not the most aligned. Okay. So there's no judgment. It's a process. Give yourself some time, some compassion, some grace. Okay. So that's what I feel for coming through for you. You say that you guess you're difficult, but you know what? This is the programming for many of us, for all of humanity. We've all been taught to think, and then leave the heart out of the equation. So you're not alone. All right, you're not alone, and you're welcome. I appreciate you. So with that, I'm going to call it a day. Thank y'all for hanging out with me. And if you feel called to work with me one-on-one, all my links are in my profile. So I will, I've had a lot of trauma in my life. I mean, yeah, I get that. I have too. And the easiest, it's not really easy, but like, the easiest thing I found to do was to lean into the trauma and to divest myself of all of the trauma, all of the beliefs, all of the stuff. And that's helped to unravel and untangle or disentangle all of the shit that I was tangled up in. And so you can do it. You can do it. My heart feels like it's gonna explode. Yeah. That could be cause for a lot of things. You're welcome. You're welcome. All right, my dears. Thank y'all for hanging out. It is 3:33 over here. Happy eclipse, not eclipse. We're still in the eclipse gateway, but happy solstice and happy Friday. Have a great weekend. I will see you again on Tuesday, and love, lots of love. Mwah. Infinite love and blessings. See ya.